So the start of this video is a bit of an optical illusion. What you have to do is you need to squint your eyes or cross them or like put them in front of them like that or put a flannel in front of it. Whatever, just make sure that you look and it's like a bit fuzzy and a bit optimistic. Yeah? Stay like that for a moment. Just stay like that until I say you can stop squinting. I'm just going to pull this out. Okay, are you ready? No, stay like it. This right here is an early to mid 20th century horn speaker and it is a beautiful example of one. Right, stop doing that with your eyes. Okay, now you can see normal and the cloak has just been removed and this is sadly not what it seems. The story started about a week and a half ago. It was on a well-known online UK charity shop and there was a photo of this. The photo looked like it had been taken on a potato. It wasn't the clearest thing in the world. And then on the other side of the screen was me. Somebody who has been looking for a while for quite a nice example of an old original horn speaker to do a video on and ultimately to have in the museum of everything else. Sadly, original working ones are quite hard to come by because the speaker elements in the base were usually made from cardboards or fabrics and stuff, and by now they would have sadly deteriorated. So most of them are either broken or modified. The ones that work now are very fragile and somewhat expensive. So when I saw this listed for considerably less money than most of the other ones I've seen in fully working order, well, I was quite interested. From what I could see, I couldn't actually figure out what model it was. It even had a nice logo on the front, and So after that, rather hastily, I put it in the cart and I purchased it, and then 7 days later, it turned up. So rather optimistically, I started opening the box and then I was greeted with the first kind of sign that something wasn't quite right. It was the speaker connectors. Yeah, they don't look very original at all. So as you can see already, something's not quite right and I've been a little bit stupid. Top it off, the next thing I saw was the base of it, and yeah, you're gonna laugh at me now. It's straight out of somebody's kitchen. It was at that point I started panicking and I was hastily removing the bubble wrap, sort of half expecting this to be a Tupperware box. But much to my relief, it seems that from here upwards is pretty original. Well, actually the bit, oh yeah, it's broken by the way, but actually this is Bakelite, this is maybe tin, and this is tin as well. So this is actually part of an original horn speaker. I'm not 100% sure of the brand. I've looked around. It's hard to pinpoint exactly which one it is. So if you know this one, then please do let me know. What I suspect happened at some point is the actual speaker element broke, and that's when this monstrosity of a Frankenstein came to be. And yes, you're right, it is scrap wood built into a box with a random speaker in it. So to top this story off, it looks like somebody hot glued one of their grandma's earrings onto the front of it. This was there, it has since fallen off, but I really thought that was a brand. I fell for it. I got totally duped. So yes, this is not what it seems. I went and looked back at the listing afterwards, and with this in front of me in context, it all makes perfect sense now. Because at the time I must have been squinting my eyes, because if I had any sense about me, I probably wouldn't have got this. Especially for what I paid for it. 100 quid. Yeah, that was pretty stupid. So initially when I figured this out, I felt a little bit duped. I thought I got granny scammed, you know, when a granny in a charity shop was like, oh, this is lovely, oh, it's very classic. And then, yeah, bumps it up and, you know, takes a dodgy picture. But I do genuinely think it was my stupid self and my stupid oversights and optimism. And I guess quite a few times I've been quite lucky on badly pictured and badly listed items. However, this one, I was a little bit unlucky for. And if it's any consolation, it's got a really, really weird and potent smell. It's like sweet and sickly. It's very strange indeed. So when I found this out, I felt a bit down about it because, you know, I was like, how am I gonna make a video with this? It isn't even a real horn speaker. But then I came around. This is endearing. It's been built by somebody in their sheds from a broken horn speaker and a broken speaker cabinet. So I guess it'll be a little bit of a shame if we don't at least get a little taste of what it sounds like. So the first thing we need to do is fix it. I have a feeling it broke in transit on the way to me, and yeah, it came from a charity shop, so I feel a bit bad asking for any money off. So I'm just gonna suck it up and just, you know, rub salt in the wounds. So what we need to do is we need to sort of make it airtight so the air can only go through the actual horn. Doesn't really, hello? Oh, it stinks. If you're wondering why I'm doing it with silicone sealant, well, that is how it was done in the first place. It just seems to have perished over all these years. So we're going to have a look at what this sounds like. You'll notice there is another speaker here. I've disconnected this. I've also bunged the sub up to isolate as much as possible, so the only sounds that are going to be heard are coming through this thing. So hopefully with the horn isolated, we'll get a sort of idea of what they're supposed to sound like. Okay, the speaker in here is a sort of full range, dodgy speaker, but let's look over that. Let's just look and see what it sounds like out of pure curiosity. We are recording. It might not be the best suited microphone, but it's the best suited microphone I have for the job. So let's just work with what we've got here. If you can tell, first off, when I speak into it, it's actually quite funky.
Ooh. So right now you're listening to a direct clean signal from a microphone going through a wire and with the wonders of modern technology being brought to your living room. Ooh, how lovely does it sound, the full body amplification of a long haul speaker. There's definitely a sound to it. It sort of reminds me of the story about lazing on a Sunday afternoon by Queen on the album A Night at the Opera, where apparently the vocals were played through a speaker in a bucket into a microphone again to give it that thin nostalgic feel. I come from London town, I'm just an ordinary guy. I'll be lazing on a Sunday afternoon. Dun dun. Ooh, la di da di da da. I'm not in the room right now, I'm speaking out the door, but I can hear it through the room, so it's pretty funky.
It does have a certain resonance to it. It literally sounds like a speaker being played through a horn. I guess that's what it is. I wonder if there's any sequences left over from the live stream I did a couple of days ago in the Circlon. So there we have it. It's got a definite resonant character that it adds to the sound. For better or for worse. It makes me very intrigued to see what the original sounded like without a modern-ish speaker in there. I'll be really interested to see what it sounds like. I can imagine it being a much less bassier experience. Because this homemade instrument is technically a one-off, I'm going to put it in the Museum of Everything Else, and it might even be playing something out in the museum, which is going to be open at some point early next year. But yeah, it's interesting, and I don't actually think I wasted my money. It was completely my stupidity. Regardless, I'm quite proud of having such a awful awful monstrosity. I've made a sample bank of directly recorded audio from this video, and that is available to download and do whatever you want with over on my Patreon, which needless to say supports all the videos and stuff like that. And to say thanks, there's a brand new mega mix coming this week, as well as a live stream, amongst lots of other extra content. So if you're interested in that stuff, please go and check out my Patreon. Anyway, I've been Look Mum No Computer. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to try it.